Hey everyone, it's Karynjean and welcome back. So, this is, let me just explain. This is just a scrapbook.com bin, and I went through all my scraps and my ephemera bits and all my, like these are the Roxy's Weekly's challenges and some just ready-made ephemera, so I'm sticking them in here. The thing is, I think it's week 3 with Rachel. She did these pockets, hinged pockets. You glue this down to the side of a page, and then it's just a pocket that folds out, right? And I made a video of when I did these different ones, and then I had technical issues, so I lost the video. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to make more of those. I'm going to put this aside for the moment. I have this 8x8 Park Lane Basics Bright. So I figured I'll make some out of this. You know, my issue is that I don't usually do ready-made ephemera because all my journals are so different, right? They are. They're all so different. But I figured I'd make some out of that. And then also I have this, looks like a, grocery sack. It's packing paper and something. And I don't know if you recall, I said I wanted to make another recipe journal because I had such fun with that recipe journal that I made and sent to Becky over at Acre Homestead. So I want to make another one. So I figured I need to iron this out, though. Iron this out, cut it down, and we can make some out of this as well. So that's what I'm going to go do now. I'm going to iron, and I'll be back, and then we'll have a nice chat as we're creating. Okay, I'm back. I just tore 3 pieces and ironed it, and one of them has a tear in it. I think this one has a hole in it, so we'll get to that in a minute. I also pulled out the 2 cookbooks that I can use to, if I want to use like book page on these or not, because I am going to be making these for the recipe journal that I'll be making sometime. I don't know when. And it was the cover to the Saturday Evening Post family cookbook here that I used to decorate the cover of that old recipe journal. I also have my Pepperidge Farm cookbook here, which I absolutely love. I should probably, some of these recipes, I bought it to make journals out of it, but, I love the illustrations. I'm going to raise this up a little bit so y'all can see. Sorry, guys. Let me make sure you're, like, these illustrations are just so fabulous, right? I just love them. So I think what I might do is use, oh, look at this. Look at this. Look, that's the book. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, I don't know. But I'll probably use this to decorate the cover of the next recipe journal. So I'm just going to put these aside for the moment. Also, while I'm thinking about it, this is my scrap bucket, and I'm going to raise you up as high as I can so you guys can see. As I was rearranging and reorganizing, what I decided to do, not everything in here is actually scraps, but what I decided to do was to pull out my 3 tissue papers, right, and keep them in here, so that I remember to use them while I'm collaging and stuff. So they're in here. This is a folio. I love playing with folio, so that's just a folio that, because I had this. Remember, I did a journal. What journal did I do? And I was using, for the journal for Older and Dirt. Older and Dirt, you still need to send me your address. I was using some artwork in that, so I made a folio just for fun. Maybe I'll put that in with that journal. But anyway, so here's the scrap bucket. As you can see, there's scraps here. Also, just different, I just dumped everything in here, which I guess is what a scrap bucket is. But I know I have in here, here's one. from the Pepperidge Farm cookbook. So I want to take that out. And, oh, here's the other one. And this one. So I'm going to take that out. Could use those. I definitely want to make sure I use those. I'll take that out too. Maybe I'll tear that up or something and put it on. So, but as you can see, it's all scraps, right? These are just yeah. I don't think there's anything else in here that I'm going to want to use. But you never know. So a salad. There we go. This is scraps from, oh, here's, look at that. That's card stuff. Pull that out. Scraps from the last time, from the when we did the recipe journal. Here's another piece of recipe. Pull that out. Pull that out. And luncheon and dinner dishes. I don't know if I'm going to use all of these, obviously, but they're scraps, and I am making these for that color maybe. I'll pull a couple of the page numbers out too. Yeah, I'm using it for the recipe journal. My train of thought just went out of my head. So, oh, all right, there. Okay, I am going to put this down. Oh, put this stuff back in. Okay, now I'm going to also show you. So these were from one of her weekly challenges, right? And I put them in our Hyacinth journal. This is from another one of her weekly challenges, what I consider to be the bank envelopes, right? These I think from Corey Dahman. That's just, I don't know. This is an extra one I made for the Hyacinth journal, didn't use. So this is just different stuff that I've been messing around with. But these, I'll show you these quickly. These are the ones that I made and then had technical issues with. And these came from scraps. Well, some of these, like this was a large. I have 2 pads of 12 by 12 paperweight paper like this. And, you know, when I'm making a journal, I'll pull out different papers and decide what I'm using. And then usually the ones I pull out and don't use don't find their way back into the paper pad. So that's what this is. So, and these pockets, this was a 12 by 12 I cut down. These pockets are huge, right? That would need a very large journaling card. So I made a couple of them that size, and I hinged them on different sides, depending upon what side of the book you want to put it on. And then this was a piece of 12 by 12 vellum. I did not notch it. Wait a second. There it is. Let me notch this one on the top. There we go. But after I made a few of these, I was thinking these are really rather large. So when I had a smaller pieces, I cut them down. They're still, you know, hinged, but the pockets aren't as deep. And I hinged them on either side. And then this was just a scrap piece of paper as well. But that's, you know, some of them are directional, so I had to make sure I was doing the directional. I did not, decorate any of those. This was also a scrap piece of paper that I hinged on opposite sides. And I decorated just a little bit. These two I decorated a little bit because I had some scraps. So that I just did like that. And then this one, I decided to decorate the back with a piece of tissue. This is one of the wax seals that I mass made one day. Piece of ribbon and stuff. So that's what I did with those. So now we're actually going to make them and decorate them for the recipe journal. So I'm going to lower you back down. And let's see. I don't know. All right, and I'm probably going to cut these down. I just tore, you know, three different sections off when I was ironing. So this measures, I think it's 12 inches. I measured it at 12. It's 12 inches by a little over 8. So 12 inches. 12 inches is too big, but if we cut it down in half, then we could have smaller pockets, or we can cut it, not even cut it, I'm just going to tear it. Here we go. I'm going to just kind of line it up. It looks a little crooked, actually. This side is crooked. All right, so here, we're going to, oh, sorry, you're a little bit off frame there. Let me do this, and then I'll raise the camera a little bit. Oh, there goes Bella moaning. I don't know if you could hear her or not. On Belly. All right, here we go. Spoiled dog. Aren't all our dogs spoiled, though? Okay, so we still have 12 inches by 7.5 inches. Okay, so it will go this way, right? So what we would do, and I'm not sure, that's still crooked. Yeah, that's crooked, all right. I suppose I can take out the paper cutter and do it on the paper cutter to make sure I have a straight cut, because it's gonna bother me otherwise. It's gonna bother me. Let's whip out mini rotary here. And as I am feeling the weight of this paper, it's a little bit lighter than regular weight paper, so I'm wondering if this is not going to be such a good idea to make these pockets out of. I don't know if it's going to be able to carry the weight, is what I'm saying, right? So we do it here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, not quite 5 inches. That's good, to make sure that it's going to actually fit. Hold on, I think I did that wrong. I find it easier if you fold in the side piece and then open it up and then you fold this over. All right, so that's basically how it is, right? And you can, yeah, we'll just use this as an example. So you can hinge it on the right-hand side of the page, right? This would be a side pocket tuck, and then it would be glued down and it would flip out, and you would have a kind of like just a flip out pocket. And so you would do it this way, or you would do it this way, right? Flip it out that way, or yeah, like this is what I meant. Or on this side of the page to do it that way. So what I did before, when I had two of the same type paper, I did it both ways. So yeah, and then this is just going to get, it's been, how long has it been? It's been about a week since I've been up here. My apologies. So, there she goes, the whiner puss again. My whiner puss. Yeah, so, all right, so we're going to make these. I'm just going to make 3 of these, and then we'll decorate them. Pretty basic stuff. I'm pretty sure I've made these in the past. I need to start, as Rachel said, and as I was talking about making my own idea book, she calls it a hoardy book, out of that planner. So, yeah, just so that I can, oops, let me get, all right, there, gone. Suppose I could just get a big piece of this paper. No, I don't want to glue it. I've already glued it. And use that to put down on top of here as I'm working with glue. right? I could. All right, so there's that. Get these tossed over there a little bit. All right, so there's one. So hi, it is 10 inches. 10 inches. This is 12 inches. This needs to be cut down. All right, so it's February. It's February. It's Friday. I think it's the first Friday in February. Don't ask me the date. I don't know. February 3rd, maybe? Sounds about right. All right, so what do we have here? And 9 inches. Still too big. Because standard size journal is, a page is 8.5 by 5.5. Excuse me, 8.5 by 5.5. So if we, all right, let's do this. Let's just cut this down like so. Okay, and while I'm here, pardon me. So, oh, and this is the one that has that tear in it. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, so it's Friday, February 3rd. Oh, February 3rd. Friday, February 3rd. See, that has a rip in it. But I don't know. I was about to throw it out, but maybe I can use that paper as a scrap or something else. I don't know. So yesterday, I got to see my daughter and my grandson, and there's a story there. So this is now 9.25 inches by. All right, so we can do it this way. This will go this way over page. Oh, no, that's fine. I'll just turn it. So my brother had an appointment with his audiologist. See, I think these are just kind of really deep. You'd have to get a really big. Hold on a second. Let me think. I was thinking we can actually make it 2 side tucks. If it was over the side of a page. I know what we can do. Excuse me. So, it's not my scissors. So my brother, so this is Roxy's weekly challenge with a twist again. I'm going to make it 2 smaller pockets. I'm going to notch this like so, and I'm going to notch here just on one side. And I should probably ink these edges too before I glue them down. Okay, so back to yesterday and my brother. My brother had just a follow-up with, I have to get the ink just a second. Grand espresso. Okay, so my brother had a follow-up with his audiologist, right? It was, he had the implant, he had the implant activated, there we go, a month ago. So it was his 1 month follow-up. And because I no longer have a car, and because he's a little bit proud and stubborn, he has an electric bike, which he's been having problems with. the roads around here can be in really bad shape, especially when you're driving like on the shoulder. And recently he had a flat tire on his back tire, which is where all the mechanical stuff is, right? I don't know. I've only ever seen his bike from a distance in the garage. I've never actually taken a good look at it. But anyway, so he was patching that. He did not, this is my brother, he did not buy a new inner tube for it because he wanted to patch it. And so he was patching, and he kept on having the flat tire. Anyway, so he's pride. So what I was saying is that he rode his electric bike to the audiologist, which is fine. I mean, the distance is fine. He could get there, but it's about an hour on the bike, and the weather this week has been absolutely atrocious. I had told him, I said, we need to get you a transport bus or van or something to take you to the doctors, because he's on disability, and I'm pretty sure Medicare will pay for that. Anyway, no, he's going to take the bike. Okay, fine. So his appointment is at 2:30. And the doctor actually called me yesterday at 3 o'clock, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what? He didn't get there, right? Why are they calling me? But no, he was there. He made it just on time. Took him an hour to get there. And she was calling me about something else, some other stuff. So okay. So then, I don't know how long. The first time we were there, the appointment lasted like over an hour or something, right? It was a long appointment. So I had no idea how long this appointment was going to be. And in the past, before my brother had his implant put in, there was no sense calling him on the phone because, first of all, he can't hear the phone ring. And if he got to the phone, because of his tremors and stuff, he couldn't answer the phone. The best way to contact him would be text message, and it might be 3 days before he actually looks to see if he has a text message. Okay, so here we have a double pocket. So that's my brother in a nutshell. This looks crooked too. It is crooked. So he calls me. He calls me at about, I don't think it was 5 o'clock. I think it was 6 o'clock. Told me where he was, which was about, 5 miles from the doctor's office. He was at, here in Pennsylvania, we have a convenience store called Wawa. I'm not quite sure what part of the country you're from. But it's a gas station, and it's large, and it's not a deli counter like you find in New York, but they make food and sandwiches, and they have what am I thinking? The coolers with stuff at all. Anyway, you can buy bread and milk and stuff like that there. So he calls me to let me know not to worry, that he's at that Wawa, and that he has 2 flat tires. When he came out of the doctor's office, his front tire was flat as well, and his back tire was flat. So, and the white bike weighs 66 pounds. So, and I was on the phone with my daughter. I hadn't talked to her in a while, so we were talking. So when he called, I hung up with my daughter to find out what was going on. So he's like, don't worry, I have to, whatever, he's going to try to fix it. He didn't have his tools with him, etc. And then he asked me where my daughter was. Now, my daughter lives over an hour away. She lives out by Hershey, Pennsylvania, which is, depending on which route you take, anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half away. Right? You can take the turnpike. It's quicker. It's longer in miles, but it's the turnpike, so you go fast and it's quicker. So, that's crooked. I need to take that to the rotary. So he's at, I told him, I said, I was just talking to Ken, and he goes, oh, is she there? I said, no, she's at home. So I called her back immediately after I got off the phone with my brother, and I told her, she says, everything all right? I said, no, he has 2 flat tires, and he's stuck at Wawa. And she said, well, do you want me to call him an Uber? And I said, I asked him if he wanted me to call him an Uber. I don't think he knows what an Uber is. I said, a taxi. You want me to call you a taxi? Because the bike folds, you know, it'll be put in the trunk. And of course he said no. So I said, here, I'll send you, call him. You get, that still looks crooked to me. You and your uncle figure it out, right? You know, so she tried calling him. This is a long story. I hope you have a beverage with you. She tried calling him. She calls me, texts me back and says he's not answering. It's like I figured. So I tried calling him. Of course, he didn't answer. So I sent him a text message telling him to call her. And he calls me back. He said he actually could hear the phone ring, which is, first of all, for me to have a conversation with him on the phone to begin with is a huge deal. Huge deal. My brother was not born deaf. He lost his hearing as he got older. And he had the implant in his left ear because that left ear was like minimal. He was hearing minimal with the hearing aid. So hold on a second. So these are bigger ones and they go flippity floppity. This one goes this way. So we'll go this way. So, so it's huge that he's able to hear. And he has traditional Medicare because of his health issues. My daughter said, no, do not put him on a Advantage plan or anything. Make sure he has traditional Medicare as far as, because she's worked in rehab centers and nursing homes and stuff. And she said it's much easier to get things approved on traditional Medicare than it is with all these other things. I said, whatever, okay, I don't care. Traditional Medicare is fine with me. So that's the kind of insurance he has. Well, Medicare, traditional Medicare, does not pay for hearing aids, but it does pay for cochlear implants. So that is how we got him to have this implant. And just dropped my scissors. So yeah, so there we go. Bonus for traditional Medicare. And now we know that this is very thin paper when it does not cut through. Oh, there, it went good. It went good. It went good that way. So my daughter went and picked him up. It took her over an hour to get there, right? But I mean, it was so bitterly cold. It was dark out. You know, the whole thing was not be safe for him to come home, even if the bike was working. So now we're going to decorate. Now we're going to decorate. I'm going to put this right there. I'm just going to smooth out that edge right there. Yeah, so I got to see my daughter and my grandson, which was nice because I haven't seen them in a while. And of course I send them home with, you know, stuff. I had made oatmeal raisin cookies the other day, and what I did was I made the batter. I made a batch, you know, I threw in like a batch for myself. And then I made the rest, I scooped the rest into, you know, cookie size, you know, with the scoop, and froze them. And so I gave her that because they like their oatmeal raisin cookies, you know, soft and chewy. And if I make them and then give them to them a couple days later, they're not going to be as soft as chewy as they are when you know, they fresh come out of the oven, right? Of course not. That's just, you know, that's just the way that rolls. So What else do we want to put here? Hold on. This is a bit heavier, but we can try something like this. That might be too much. Too much. I wonder if I used, looks like I used something like this. Maybe not that one though. Yeah, that's fine. So I got to see my daughter and grandson last night, which was, you know, my absolute joy. And as far as how everybody else is doing, my sister had surgery on her hand. She's doing fine. She's recovering well. She's going to have the other hand done maybe after the kids get out of school, because my niece is about to have a baby. So I think she's going to be home for 3 months too. So I'm not quite sure when my sister's going to have the second surgery done on her hand. On her other hand, I mean. The surgery done on her other hand. But she's recovering well. And I guess I'll just keep it that way. Yeah, and my friend, I call her Sissy. It's not her name, it's what I call her. She had been ill for a very long time, and she was finally well enough to have surgery. And so she had surgery. Day before my sister. She had surgery a week ago. Looking at that, and it's either rust or something orange on there. And she just got home from the hospital yesterday, and she said she's exhausted and she has no stamina, but she's happy to be home, of course. So she's recovering well. She wound up in the hospital with diverticulitis a few months ago. We did not know she had diverticulitis, and all of a sudden she had a very bad case of diverticulitis where it was, you know, part of the bowel wall was burst into her bladder. So she was in a lot of pain. So she was well enough finally for them to do some surgery there. She had a bowel resection, and they're going to be able to, they'll be able to reverse it 6 to 12 months, she said. She has a colostomy bag right now. So, yeah, so she's like wiped out. And this is the time when I really wish I still had my car, because she lives about 45 minutes away. So I haven't seen her since she was in the hospital the last time. And I would have liked to have been able to, you know, support her and go visit her. She lives alone. So, of course, she has many friends, right? I mean, we all love her. You know, I call her Sissy, for heaven's sakes. She's my sister. She's not really, but she is. She's my sister. So, yeah. So there's that one. And hold on a second. We could put the duck. This picture, this looks like a naked woman. Don't think I'll put that there. We'll put the duck down. And then my other friend who had a hip replacement, she's doing very, very well. She had her hip replacement the same day Sissy had her GI surgery. So, yeah, so everybody is recovering well. All right, so here's one. Here's one. And we're getting rid of some of the scraps. We are. And here's Bella being a whinge. So it was a late night. Not that my daughter and grandson were here late. You know, they were here maybe about half an hour after they dropped him off because it was a school night and, you know, she gets up early for work and everything else and so she had to get back home. Okay, so there's that one. Ta-da! There's that one. And we'll do this one now. This one we have a page number here. Make it kind of like a trapezoid. I think that's the correct name for that shape, a trapezoid. Yes, this one I'll put back in there and we'll go through and cut something else out. Now this might be a little bit too heavy. I'm going to put it back because it's cardstock paper. I'm going to put it back in there. Okay, so this is white. That is not white. Let's get this out because I want to just get rid of some of that brightness, right? Suppose I could spray it with the tea I have here. Let's see what happens if I do that. Oh, remember this old bottle of tea I made. Hold on, let me just see how it's gonna, there we go. Do it from a distance. I don't want it. Okay. And I'm gonna do it with the heat gun, see what happens. Okay. Thinking that started getting a funky smell. I think it's because I was using the heat gun on that paper, but the paper was on that piece of that plastic mat. So, all right, so we have that. And still a little bit wet. Hold on. There we go. It's a doily. A doily would go in a recipe, right? It's all about kitchen stuff. So, all right, let's just tear away. Tear away. We could, that might be a little bit too much. A little bit too much. There's also the other side, like I decorated the other side of the other one. You could put that there. All right. I usually use, I'm going to try to use the liquid glue. The glue stick just kind of, you know, pops out on all the, just if I get the edges here. There. Glue stick is usually a bit of a mess. Okay. Just pop that there. And use that to pick up any liquid glue that seeps out. Okay. A salad. This one I think came from the Saturday Evening Post cookbook because of the paper. Definitely different paper. muck it up just a little bit. Hold on a second. I'm going to go get the ribbon bucket because I'd like to add a little color maybe here. And we have our scrap ribbons. This little piece, it's not a little piece, it's a big piece, but we can maybe put that like so. Okay. So what was I saying? I don't even know. Oh yeah, so everybody's doing well. They're all healing. Thankfully, got to see my daughter and my grandson last night, which puts me in a really good mood today, right? Because I haven't seen them in so long. And yeah, my grandson had his 14th birthday a couple weeks ago, January 20th. And, oops. I'm going to use the Fabrifix on this because I'm going to glue it on top of the fabric there. So he had his 14th birthday a couple weeks ago. And when he was here last night, of course, I stuck him up against the wall because I have a wall where I've been, you know, measuring him. Right. And I'm pretty sure I didn't get all the way down to his skull because his hair, he had taken, my daughter had put twists in his hair and he had taken them out. He's having them redone, I think, this weekend. So sometimes it's hard for me to get down there. But I measured him and he measures 6'3". December 22nd, he measured 6'2". No, 6'1", 6'1". So the boy is growing, man. Growing. Okay, now, let's look in here. There's a barrel. The kids running for supper. Let's look for strawberries. No, not strawberries. I wanted to this here. I wanted to have color is my issue. I want the picture to have some color so that we can okay, works for me. Oh, gracious. Hello. Okay. Oh. So also I want to thank everyone who is a new subscriber. In one of my last videos, I was talking about how I really wanted to solidly get over that 700 mark that I was flirting with, and I think I'm there. I think I'm there. I'm not far over 700, but I think it's, it's like 704. So that, hopefully it'll stay there and, keep on going up. That would be fun. That would be fun. So there's this one. And I'm not going to obviously do anything with that yet. These yet. I am going to, I suppose I could decorate them, but I think I might decide to wait until I actually, there we go, get it in a journal. What do you think? What do you think? Because also, I have stamps and stuff. I just don't feel like pulling out stamps right now, so I'm not going to do that. Put these aside over here with the others. And, not so bad, because I still have some bits I need to edit out. Okie dokie. And, all right, well. Oh, I didn't use my trapezoid, did I? Put that right there. I'm going to put that right there. Let me just use glue stick, see how that does with this paper. Ugh. There. Oh, I probably should have put it, dag nabbit, it's going over the side of a paper like that. I don't like putting things, where you have to, I guess I'm a bit anal that way. Needs to be vertical, not horizontal, because of how we see things and how we read, right? You don't want to have to tip it to the side to see what was going on there. What's that? That's ink. Okay, and so we have these two. We can do this again. Let's just tear it a bit down. We can do that. So right. Let's do that. Let's do that. There we go. And yeah. The one thing I still have to do for my daughter, she mailed me, I think I told you guys, she'd mailed me a box with, I should have done it last night. I had time. I don't know why I didn't, because it was like, I don't remember what time it was that she said she was picking them up at 8 o'clock. So I had more than an hour. She sent me a pair of, Bella, stop whining, a pair of my grandson's flannel pants, pajamas that he wears his trousers, his pants in school, as all the kids do. It's a really nice plaid. But the way they ripped, I can't, it's just not me, re-sewing the seam. I need to patch it. And she's like, Mom, don't worry about it. They only cost like $8. I was like, well, I'll fix it. And if he doesn't want to wear them, give them back to me because it's really nice fabric and I'll use it for a journal. And she says, well, which ones are they? I said, I thought they were from school because it's the orange and the red and, all those colors. And she goes, oh, yeah, those are nice. Like, yeah. He put them on and he ripped them. So, I mean, I can fix it, but it's just not going to be, this is green. We could thread that through there. All right, let's, yeah. So yeah. So I could have fixed them last night. I just wasn't thinking about it. I need to make this easy on myself. Probably should have cut a larger piece of ribbon. Here we go. But I'll see him again soon, I hope. So he was telling me he's not going to do any track and field sports this spring. He's just going to stick with wrestling and with football. And he's going to the Keystone something or other. I don't know if it's like a state competition or his record. It was his second year wrestling, I think. His record is 23-5. So I was like, awesome. And this meet is the morning of Super Bowl Sunday. I'm like, have fun, Super Bowl. Although he plays football, he doesn't watch football on TV. He really doesn't. It's like, you don't watch football? Because no, he doesn't. There. Yeah, I don't know why. He just doesn't. So, okay, it's whatever. That's all right. Should we do it like that? Should we put it on the bottom? We're going to need to put something else here, though. Oh, and here I go, ripping through the Pepperidge Farm cookbook. Here, a pot, an orange pot. That's what we're going to do. An orange pot. Hard-boiled egg sauce. Never heard of it. Clarified butter. Yeah. So now, do I want to fussy cut it? I suppose I could. Wrong scissors to do this with, but, it's big and not much to it. Bella, what's the matter? What's the matter, boo-boo? This dog, I'm telling you. So I was up, my brother, of course, was exhausted by the time he got home. It was like 8:30. He's usually in bed by 8:30. So it was an exhausting day for him. And then he said that he got no sleep last night because when he was at Wawa, he got himself a cup of coffee, which he usually does get. Well, sometimes he gets coffee at Wawa, but he always waters it down. Well, at 7:30, 7 o'clock at night, he's having this large cup of Colombian roast or something. So he was over-caffeinated. He had trouble sleeping last night. And I didn't go to bed until, I don't know, midnight or 12:30 or so. And I know I didn't get to sleep until probably around 1 or 2, because that's just how I roll. But I like that. No, I still think I'm going to put this here. We can put that like so. Whatever. Yep, we'll do that. And then, of course, I hear him when he gets up to make his breakfast because the dog barks to go in or to, go out or come in or whatever. And then I usually get up anywhere between 6 and 7 in the morning to give her medicine and feed her. Just put that down. Make sure, let her out again. Give her medicine, feed her. And then I like to go back to bed. Because I have insomnia and usually don't sleep well, I'm not ready to be out of bed and greet the day at 6 or 7 in the morning. I'm just not. So, but it's at that point where she doesn't want to be alone, so she'll come upstairs here. She'll either be in my bedroom or she'll be just outside my bedroom sitting at the top of the stairs whining. And she just whines and whines. So I don't get to go back to sleep. I just lay in bed and yell at her to stop whining. Dang dog. Glue on my fingers. But anyway, yeah, so that's my story. And of course, she's whining again. I don't know. I checked this morning because, you know, there's the top of the stairs and then the front door is at the bottom of the stairs. And our front door, like most front doors, has like a half moon window on top. And laying on top of the stairs, I'm pretty sure she can see outside that half moon window. But as I was coming down the stairs this morning, I was checking to see. It's like, all right, what is she seeing? What is her field of vision out there? And you know, I discovered that, oh, I really need to clean the window because it's filthy, and I couldn't see outside because of the sun glare, because that's the sun. Our house faces east, so we get the morning sun in the front of the house. There we go, and I will ink edges. It looks crooked, doesn't it? I will ink edges. Not that they're going to see that because it's going to be going over the side of a page. I'll ink edges when I put it in the book. See how we're doing here. So that's the story. And so now, of course, she's up here whining, too. I don't know if she's still up here, though. I don't see her. I think she might have gone downstairs. Oh, excuse me. Need to get a drink. There we go. Rubbing glue off my fingers. Okay. And for sandwiches. Oh, yummy. Love sandwiches. I need to, I've been playing around with different, I usually don't make sandwich bread. I make, you know, like just a regular artisan bread, which is just flour, water, and yeast. Flour, water, yeast, and salt. That's how I make bread. And I like it, but why I don't usually make sandwich bread is because it has sugar in it and other things, and I guess to make it softer. But I've been playing around with different sandwich breads recipes. Not quite sure I found any that I like. I'll just stick with my, you know, I suppose I could leave sugar out of it. The only reason to have sugar in bread is to make it a little sweeter. It doesn't do anything to the softness of it, so I could always leave the sugar out. But, okay, for sandwiches. Sandwiches. Goodness gracious. That's really bothering me. You know how glue bothers me. There we go. Get it off my finger so I can feel my finger. And now I'm just going to get more glue on my finger. So, yeah, I've taken to making my own mayonnaise at home and my own sour cream and my own yogurt and all that stuff, just because I don't want all that stuff that goes into that, right? And as I've said in a previous video, mayonnaise is the easiest thing in the world to make. Easy, easy, easy peasy. So sour cream, quite honestly, and yogurt, it's all easy to make. It just takes time. You know, which I have. I have time. I'm living this retired life, so to speak, so save $54. What's the back of this? That looks like wallpaper. Yeah, it is wallpaper. Let's put it down there. I like the page number 88 on the bottom, but it's a perfect size for this on the bottom. Look at that. Look at that. It's the right colors. It's the bottom of a, a palm tree, I think. Oops. There. don't know if you can see, like little palm fronds. Okay, so, and is there anything else we want to put on this? Not for now. We will leave it that way, and yeah, when we put them in the journal, I actually should put them over there with, let me pull them back out. I think I'll put these in there too, just because they might be the right colors. For the recipe journal, I have a separate tin over there that has stuff to make the recipe journal. When I've been cleaning, I've been separating it and putting it over there. So anyway, well, this is Karynjean. This stuff is going back in the scrap bucket. Yeah, no, that's going in the garbage. Wait a second. Let's put our, well, these should go in with the recipe journal. I'm going to put those scraps in with the recipe journal. What are these? Garbage. Recipe journal. Okay, I'll put these in the bucket with the recipe journal. Well, sorry. Oh my God. Well, this is Karynjean from Ex Libris Crafts. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I hope you enjoyed this video. Roxy's Weekly Challenge, week 3 with a twist. So yeah, let your imagination run wild, take you to marvelous places. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you soon.